Radio, today's hottest country and more. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockin' Country Radio. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn. I am so excited to be here with you. We were off last night, took the night off, and we are so excited to be back here with you tonight for another edition of Rockin' Country Radio. So if you are here for the first time, welcome. We are glad to have you. And if you're one of our loyal listeners, we are always glad to have you here and so excited that you're back tonight. And I tell you, this is a great night to be here because our guest, I have been so excited ever since we booked her, knowing that she was going to be on the show because she has such a great story leading up to where she is now in the music business, and it's just so fascinating. And she was also a contestant on Chasing Nashville, and she has a great story as well. But I want to give you a little background on her before we bring her on. She is a West Virginia native, and she started her music career at the age of 8. And she won several music competitions, and she actually received a golden ticket to Hollywood on that little-known talent show called American Idol, maybe. Yeah. I tell you, the girl is immensely talented, and she was one of the youngest to ever perform on the West Virginia Country Music Hall of Fame stage. She realized her true potential as a musician. So 2 years ago, she was discovered on YouTube and was asked to be the lead talent in Lifetime's reality series, Chasing Nashville. How about that? And since the show's end, she has been writing and performing her own songs across the region. And she is kin to country great Loretta Lynn, believe it or not. And I tell you, music runs in the family, and the roots are deep, folks. As you will see, we'll be playing a couple of her songs before we wrap our show tonight. She is so immensely talented, but she has an extremely broad vocal range, which is almost unheard of anymore, which I think is awesome, which just adds to her superior talent. And she also is a great songwriter. She really tells a story in every song that she writes. It speaks to your heart, and it makes you feel like when you listen to her music that you're, that you've lived the experience yourself, which is really a rarity. I love the fact that she writes from the heart, and that is the kind of songwriter that she is. But she's got a lot of great things going on, and she has a couple songs out that have really taken the country music world by storm. People absolutely love her. They loved her on Chasing Nashville, and her music is really off the wall good. So without further ado, I want to welcome with great pleasure to our show this evening, Autumn Blair. Hello, Autumn.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking, and welcome to our show. We are so excited that you're here tonight.
Well, I'm just really happy that you guys invited me and that I get to be a part of this.
Well, I was telling you before we aired live, I told you from the moment I came across your music and found out who you were, I was like, I've got to get you on the show because you're so immensely talented. And, of course, most of the world has seen you on Chasing Nashville, but for those who have had their head in the sand and didn't know it existed and didn't know who you were, I thought, we've got to get her music out there in even a larger capacity just so people can hear your immense talent. And you really are talented. And, wow, I mean, what a ride that you've had from the time you realized that you wanted to be in music until now. Some great things have happened for you, but it's not been the easiest of journeys, is it?
Yes, choosing to go into music is definitely something you really have to put some thought into before you really go for it because there's a lot of sacrifices and it's just a big risk. But I believe in me and my band, and hopefully we find enough people who also do and we get to the top. But I guess it's a really good thing we found you guys, so thank you so much. The introduction was amazing. Thank you so much for all the compliments.
Oh, you are so welcome. And, it's, did you even realize that you had accomplished that much? I know a lot of people tell me, when they hear what they've accomplished in music, it's like they go, are they are they talking about me? Or are they talking about someone else? But you are that immensely talented and well worth talking about. And I have to tell you, as I said in the intro, your music for me, the first time I heard it, it was just it took on such a personal feeling for me, because I know it was personal for you as you wrote the songs, because they had to do with real life experiences that you've encountered. But for me personally, it was almost as if I felt like I had lived those experiences too. And as a songwriter, even though you're writing from a personal perspective, is that also your goal with making great music for people like me and the next listener out there?
It actually, well, when I write a song and I record it or just get a scratch tape on it and I listen to it, I mean, I get an amazing feeling like listening to it myself, but I get a more amazing feeling when I see like other people listening to it and connecting with it. And I think I love it even more when I see that other people, it helps them through their hard times, or it makes them feel happy. That's the best part about music to me. It's not really what I get out of it. It's what my fans and what people listening gets out of it. That's really the best part of doing music.
Yeah, and it's my understanding, and I know a lot of artists say this time and time again, and you've kind of hit on it here, is that when you yourself as an artist can connect to a song and you feel like you get that feeling about it after you've produced it and you hear it for the first time, there's just something magical about that. And you know without a doubt that if you're feeling that, you know, your listeners and fans are only going to be able to feel that tenfold, which is always a great thing. If you're feeling it, you know the fans are. And I think that's one of the beauties of music as it is, because it's such a universal language, and what your song may mean to you may mean something completely different to me and the next person. So it's really amazing how music kind of takes on a life of its own, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, I have to talk to you because you, as I said in the intro, you were discovered on YouTube and approached to be the lead on the reality series, Lifetime reality series, Chasing Nashville. If you will, talk a little bit about that experience, because when you were on YouTube, obviously you were putting your music out there, you know, to share it, but did you ever in your wildest dreams imagine that you would get tapped by Lifetime for this series?
Well, it's a bit of a funny story. Actually, I was never a YouTube person. I'd never put any videos up. People, like when I did contests and stuff, they actually uploaded a couple videos of me when I was like 12 years old. So when Lifetime, they actually found the videos that the other people uploaded. So when they contacted me, it was even more of a surprise, because I was like, videos on YouTube, what? And so I guess I really have to give the thanks to the other people who uploaded it, because if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been found by Lifetime, and I wouldn't have been able to be on the series and to get my launch for my music and stuff. So I guess it really goes to the other people who put the videos up.
For sure. But now, on the other side of that, when you got that call from Lifetime, what was your reaction? I mean, aside from the fact that you're kind of baffled at first, going, wait a minute, how did they find me? And then you realize. But to know you were going to be on this series, on this hit, you know, channel, I mean, Lifetime is huge. And that had to have been a defining moment for you.
It was definitely a big surprise. And at first, me and my family, we're kind of, back then we were kind of like, we kind of like to keep our business to ourselves. We're not really people to put it out there. So at first we were like, I don't think we want to do it. And then we put thought into it, and we were like, hey, this could be like a huge thing. This could help with my music, and what the heck, why not do it? And so at first, we were a little weird around the cameras and stuff, and it was really awkward. But after a while, you could just get used to them, and seeing yourself on TV for the first time is definitely really weird, because it's like, oh, what am I going to look like? Am I going to look weird? Am I going to say something weird? But it was a really good experience for me, and it really helped a lot with, I was really awkward before I did the TV series. Like, I couldn't talk to people, but it really opened me up, and now I can speak and talk to people in interviews. And I'd have to say that was probably my favorite part about it, was that it really helped me in that way.
Oh yeah, and because to be an entertainer, to be a singer-songwriter, especially when you're chasing Nashville, if you will, pardon the pun, but you almost have to develop that if you don't have it, because you're going to be performing in front of numerous amounts of people. If your career takes off, and you end up being the next Carrie Underwood, I mean, this is kind of something that has to almost be second nature as part of what you're doing as an artist, and for some people it is very hard. As a matter of fact, you'd be surprised. I've done a celebrity interview show, and you'd be surprised the celebrities that if you see them on TV, they can act out a script all day long, but when you get them on an interview and you have to put them on the spot, it is so hard, because they all of a sudden they're out of their comfort zone, and they just don't know what to do with themselves. But to be able to develop that skill is a very good thing, and it will carry you far, as it appears to have already done so, which I think is awesome. What was your favorite part about doing that show?
Probably my favorite part of doing Chasing Nashville, it was probably getting to meet all the other girls and getting to see, because when you're going through the journey, it's like, am I the only one having all this trouble? Am I the only one going through this? But to go through it with other girls, and in a way, it was a competition, but in another way, it was really just a couple girls following their dreams and working together but against each other at the same time. So it was probably getting to know and getting to see their journey and getting to go through the journey with them.
Well, since you have been on the show, do you still keep in touch with the other girls that were on the show with you?
I keep in touch with a couple of them, but where there's a lot of distance, it's kind of difficult. But Helena, I talked to her a good bit. We still keep in contact. We were actually talking about having a reunion soon, so hopefully that'll happen.
Oh. Well, I know for the Chasing Nashville fans, I hope that's something that they will air. They will film and air, because Chasing Nashville fans would absolutely love that. I think anyone that watches any reality TV show, no matter which one it is, they always are a real sucker for having the reunion shows and bringing back their favorites, It's really a great thing, and I hope that does happen for you and the others as well. Now, I have to talk to you about another great experience, and that is one of the American Idol. You got the golden ticket to go to Hollywood, and again, that had to have been another great defining moment as part of your career and your life. What was that experience like? Because that had to have been dramatically different from the whole Chasing Nashville scenario.
Yes, it was very different for me, because when I grew up singing and all of that, it was like I could sing anywhere. Like on a stage, I was fine, but when it came to talking, that wasn't my strongest point. But at American Idol, you had to be able to talk, and you had to put on the act. And so when I went into audition, it was for Nicki Minaj, Randy Jackson, and Keith Urban. Mariah Carey was late that day. But I was so nervous, and I went against my country roots a little bit, and I actually auditioned with Fallen by Alicia Keys, and it was always my dream watching when Randy Jackson, when somebody's doing a run and he'll, make that face, ooh, she's doing good. And so when he made that face when I was singing, my heart just melted, and, it was a really amazing feeling when they all counted. Nicki Minaj counted and was like 1, 2, 3, and they all said yes at the same time. It was overwhelmingly amazing. And then when I got the call from Chasing Nashville, I had to make a decision on if I wanted to go to Hollywood Week or if I wanted to do the TV series. And it was kind of like American Idol was always me and my father's dream for me. But we wanted to go with more of the guarantee, so we picked the TV series. So it always makes me wonder what would have happened if I would have done American Idol. But I think I made a good decision with going with Chasing Nashville, because it got me a bunch of amazing opportunities.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think either or would have been a great path for you. But, amazing. I mean, the fact that you got the golden ticket, which is what so many people, who audition in front of the panel of judges, they hope for. So to be able, to know you got the ticket, even though you turned it down going to Hollywood Week, that had to feel like such a sense of accomplishment in itself, not knowing going into that room, doing a blind audition, what kind of response you would get, if you would even get a golden ticket, No pressure, no pressure. Now, and as far as that goes, I mean, singing in front of, say, Keith Urban, because you are country, what was it like for you? Because, as an aspiring country artist yourself, were you incredibly nervous? Did you feel like you were right at home, singing in front of them? What was that like?
It was definitely, I had really never sang in front of anyone like of super importance in the music industry. So going in there, I was really scared. I'm going to be honest, like I was really scared Nicki Minaj was going to hate me, but she turned out to be like one of the sweetest people that I've ever met, and she was just so nice. And then Keith Urban, like I can't even remember exactly what he said to me because I was so like mesmerized by his accent. But yes, I had a little bit of a celebrity crush going in there with Keith Urban, but they were all so nice, and I was just super nervous. But advice to anyone who wants to try out for American Idol or anything like that, I mean, these people, they're real people, and it's not like you go in there and they're mean to you. They're actually so sweet, and I encourage everyone to chase their dreams and to do stuff like that.
I have a really neat story to share really quick about Nicki Minaj. I was doing another show about a year and a half ago, and I was just interviewing a R&B indie artist, and she really, had a little bit of a following, but really still pretty much an unknown. And we were just conducting an interview live on air, and so I look over in the chat room, and I see someone with the name Nicki Minaj, and I thought, somebody definitely posing. So I sent a private message, and she tells me, yes, this is really Nicki Minaj. And, of course, still you don't know if it's real. So I asked her, would she call in? I said, would you please call in and speak to my guest? She would love that. Well, lo and behold, it was Nicki Minaj. She called in to the show. She gave my guest some really great advice. She had listened to her music. And come to find out, Nicki has a show here on Blog Talk Radio. At that time she did. I don't know about now. But it was right before she joined American Idol. She had been signed to American Idol, and she had just come off tour, and she was talking about joining the show. She had a new perfume coming out, and she was very gracious, and even to the point that when I asked her would she mind calling in, she goes, well, I wasn't really scheduled to be on. I don't want to take away from you. I mean, she was so gracious, and it was of all the things that you see about her, I thought that was incredibly surprising because I didn't expect that at all. So
she's really unexpected. Like everybody, she kind of has that vibe where she's like a tough woman, and but she's actually very sweet.
She was, and my guest was floored because this was not scripted. It was not planned. I didn't know this. She was just, it was a Friday night, and Nicki, I guess, had some time, and she was just tooling around on Blog Talk and decided, hey, I'm going to check out the show. And it was, my guest was, and she even told my guest, she said, I would love to collaborate with you sometime. My guest was over the moon. So I don't know if that will ever take place, but maybe in the future. Well, I know those were some great experiences for you, and obviously they had to have launched your career and opened some amazing doors for you, as you said. What are some things that are happening for you now as a result of those experiences?
Well, I'm still in contact with the producers of the show. I signed with one of the guys. He's my manager now, and he's an amazing manager. And I just got back from the Hamptons a couple of weeks ago. I actually got to perform at a party that Bon Jovi was a host at, so that was really cool for Bon Jovi to hear my music and to see me performing. So that was definitely a little nerve-wracking, but I'm really happy he got to see it. And we're kind of doing some local stuff right now and kind of seeing what's next for us. And we have a couple things going down that are on the DL, and we're not allowed to tell yet, but hopefully we'll be able to announce them soon.
Well, I have every belief that you will, and it's so exciting. I mean, just to see how things have evolved for you since those days of chasing Nashville and American Idol, and how things have kind of steamrolled all of a sudden. Since those experiences, and it's no telling where it's going to take you from here. But I have every belief that it's just going to continue to open many doors, and you've got a great career ahead. I mean, you have wonderful talent, and gosh, you're so immensely talented. I mean, with your songwriting ability. And I have to talk to you a little bit, though, because I was reading some background on each of the songs that you've written, and it, as I'm reading the background, as you tell the story about each song, it was almost kind of heart-wrenching to a point. If anyone knows your backstory and they know, kind of some of the things that you went through growing up, it was not easy. So to be able to be at this point and you're chasing your dreams, not just Nashville, but chasing your dreams and succeeding, I know for you that has got to it feels like things have really come full circle for you, has it not?
It definitely, thinking back to, the reasons I wrote the songs, especially the 3 songs that you guys have, I'm very proud of myself, and I kind of take it as everything that happens in my life is a reason to keep pushing forward. I mean, the good things, the bad things, the people who support my music, I thank them, and I work really hard to keep them supporting me, and the people who don't support my music or don't enjoy it, I work really hard to try to make them want to support it and want to love it. So I just take every positive and negative thing and put it into overdrive to make me want to be better and make people want to love my music.
Well, I think it has definitely served you well thus far. And, as I kind of read some of your story, and it just really touched me. And you are a great example of someone who has persevered through great trial and some of the experiences that you've had growing up. And, you could have very easily gone either way. You could have chased your dreams, or you could have fell by the wayside and chased other things, And I love the fact that you rose above that. And, what a great testimony to anyone who is looking, to chase their dreams but may feel like, oh, it's never going to happen. They'll never have the opportunity. I think you are someone, especially to young girls in particular, who, who look up to you, could really learn from and be encouraged by your story and the things that you've been able to accomplish in spite of the fact of some of the things that you had to deal with as a child and just throughout your early life.
I think that is really one of the things that makes me love doing music so much, especially to see the younger crowd, to see them looking up to me. That really makes me feel special, and I just want every young person, and I want every old person, it's never too late to chase your dreams. I just want them to know that if you put the hard work into it, that anything is possible, and you could be doing anything. Like, I had never imagined right now that I would be working on an EP, which you asked me what I'm doing these days. I don't know why I didn't mention it, but I'm actually I'm working on an EP right now. I think release date will be December, January, kind of in that area, so everybody keep their eyes open for that, and we have Facebook, Twitter, and all that, so if anybody wants to support or look up our music, we really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And there's one more thing I want to ask you before I let you go, and that is, in the intro, I mentioned that you are kin of country great Loretta Lynn. Please explain how you are related to her, because I'm sure people are curious that may have heard that earlier or may know that but may not know how the relation is.
It actually is a little confusing to me because my grandpa can tell you it in like 2 seconds, but we're actually 4th cousins, and she actually had her grandma, I think it was her grandma, her name was Sarah Rainey, I think, but her maiden name is Sarah Blair. So, so I'm 4th cousins with her, and then my grandpa and stuff, they're closer to her, but it's just really cool to know that we're related because it shows me that my family and my blood and people from where I'm from can really make it.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever actually met? Have you had the opportunity to meet Loretta Lynn?
I haven't, and It would be so cool. I mean, I was getting ready to. We were talking about it. We were trying to set it up at one point. I think it was for the TV show, and it was a time when she wasn't real mobile at the time. So unfortunately, we didn't get to do it. But I was asked at a radio interview this question: if I could pick one famous person to meet, who would it be? And I actually said Loretta Lynn because she inspires me, and hopefully one day I will get to meet her.
Well, I hope so too. And I the first time I ever went to your website, the tagline that you have on the homepage is a modern day coal miner's daughter. And anyone that knows anything about Loretta Lynn knows that that's kind of the whole basis of her persona. Is she grew up a coal miner's daughter herself, and in the hills of Kentucky. So she is just a fascinating icon, in the world of country music, and phenomenal artist, and to have you, in country music and to be related to her, and you're doing your thing. It would be awesome if you and she could meet and maybe do a duet together one day. That would be incredible, and we will keep our fingers crossed for you on that.
Well, thank you.
That would be really cool. Well, I have so enjoyed speaking with you, Autumn. It has been a pleasure, and I am excited to see what's going to happen for you. I have a feeling that 2015 is going to be an explosive year for you, because things have really been snowballing since chasing Nashville and American Idol. I mean, you've been incredibly busy, too. I follow you on social media, so I've watched you all summer, and you've had so much going on. So I have a feeling that 2015 is going to be even bigger and better and busier. So,
thank you so much.
We look forward to the EP as well, and as soon as that drops, just let us know. We'll be happy to get that on and support that and play the death out of it. I mean, we can't wait to get it. It's going to be good. And anytime you're ever in North Carolina, please stop by. Let us know ahead of time. We would love to, meet you, and if you're going to do a show, come out and see you live in person.
Oh. I will definitely remember that, and I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and to play my music, and I really appreciate your support, and I love you guys for this, and hopefully I'll get to meet you in person soon.
That would be awesome. Well, thank you, and you are so welcome, and we appreciate your time as well, and best of luck to you as you move forward.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon.
All right. You guys, too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Autumn. Take care. What a lovely young lady, a real country sweetheart. And, yes, she goes by the tagline, a modern-day coal miner's daughter. But I tell you, she's one of the sweetest young ladies I have ever talked to in all the time that I've been doing interviews. And just a lovely individual and so humble, and she is doing some great things in the world of country music. And if you have never encountered Autumn Blair, I'm telling you, we're going to play her music in just a few moments, but you definitely need to check her out. You can go to her website, autumnblairmusic.com, and there you can keep up with everything that she's doing, and especially when the new album comes out, EP rather, you definitely want to be ready to grab that because it's going to be some kind of good. Also on Facebook, it's Autumn Blair Fans, and if you go there, please like her page. You can also follow her on Twitter at Autumn Blair 12, and any one of those places you can stay up on everything that's going on with her, and follow her wherever she goes, and including if she's finding out if she's going to be performing and coming to a town near you. And I certainly hope she comes to North Carolina because she is so immensely talented. She would be awesome to see live, indeed. Well, before we wrap our show tonight, we are going to play a few songs from her that, to me, I couldn't decide. Normally I just play one or two, but these are all so good, I just couldn't narrow it down. So I said, we'll just play all three. But we have three songs, Hear Me Now, Daddy's Little Girl, and No Place Like Home. These are all great songs. We'll close the show with that. But before we do, I want to say a huge thank you to Autumn Blair for being our special guest this evening, and many great thanks to all of you for tuning in. And if you're brand new, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here as well. And we will be back here again tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, with another great indie artist. So we hope that you'll be back here to join us for that. But in the meantime, we're going to close out now with Autumn Blair's great music. Please enjoy it. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Take care, all. Good night, and God bless.
I remember all the names you called me. Remember crying on the bathroom floor, praying that you would hear me, but you didn't care anymore. Just a little girl shaking, 'cause you let me believe that I wasn't worth saving, and nobody would want me. But I'm gonna prove you wrong. All you did was make me strong. I didn't have a voice for so long, and I thought I'd never get it back. I buried my truth unspoken. If you couldn't hear me, then you'll hear me now. You dug a hole and threw me in it, but I ain't gonna die this way. I'm gonna rise above your weakness. Yeah, I'm gonna hand you back your faith. No matter what you say, I know I'm gonna prove you wrong. All you did was make me strong. I didn't have a voice for so long, and I thought I'd never get it back. I buried my truth unspoken. If you couldn't hear me, then you'll hear me now. You'll hear me now. Hear me now. I know I'm gonna prove you wrong. All you did was make me strong. I didn't have a voice for so long, and I thought I'd never get it back. I buried my truth unspoken. If you couldn't hear me, then you'll hear me now. Hear me now. Please hear me now. Fearless little girl with dreams bigger than these mountains. To everyone around here, they seem so out of reach. Just a scared young man learning how to be a father, taking her hand, saying never give in, never give up a little star. In his eyes, I'm his whole world. In his heart, I'm gonna be right there, even when I'm gone. Being the woman he made of me, I will always be Daddy's little girl. Daddy's little girl. He'd pick out all my clothes, but they never were quite matching. Every day he'd brush my hair into a crooked ponytail. All that really mattered was he said that I looked pretty, and he promised to stay. And to this
Check out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.